This one's going to be about blessings, and there's lots of blessings in Judaism. So they fall under a few different categories. I'm going to focus on one primarily this round, but just as mention, FYI for you guys, some fun facts. So blessings can be, there's this concept that the original vessels in the higher realms were shattered. We'll do a video on this, but and that by saying blessings over things, we're trying to find these hidden sparks and elevate these sparks back to repair the vessels, they call it. And that's one type of the blessing. So you're blessing things to try to find, it's part of Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel's mission to find these hidden sparks by blessing things. So we're supposed to bless all these different things. And there are blessings for rainbows and lightning and thunder and all different kinds of phenomena. Beautiful people, beautiful animals, strange looking people, strange looking animals. So you're going around saying all these blessings to try to find these hidden sparks and elevate them and rebuild. There's one like with the food especially, that the divine gives us all things, so we should thank it prior to eating or drinking anything, so that we're not like stealing from it, sort of, that like we're letting the divine know that we know where this comes from, and so we thank you for giving this to us. But what we're going to focus on is the vibrational power of blessings. So it kind of goes in line with the word, sound, and power. It doesn't seem like many people like those videos. It's kind of a Rasta concept, but it very much ties in. The awful being used improperly, I think, is a really important one. But it's that when you speak, you emanate a vibration, a sound, right? And there was a great book I read years and years ago. A buddy had it, and I kind of just read chunks of it, and it was called Biblical Codes for the Biological Apocalypse, I want to say. And in it, it talks about what now people, it's kind of trending online, of cymatics, where, and that's what they talked about in the experiment, was you put a table of sand, cymatics being where they'll like put sand, and then they run sound underneath like a speaker, and it'll make geometric patterns. So in this book, they were saying that there's two languages that if you look at the archaic way of writing them, the original way of writing them, that they also will make the letters. So when you say the sound of the letter, and I don't remember if it's like the ah of an aleph or the aleph, but it would literally make it. And the two languages were Hebrew and Sanskrit. And they'll actually like do the cymatics of the original text, the most archaic like original text. And so that's basically in Hebrew what they believe. In Judaism, when you speak Hebrew, and I'm not going to use the actual two divine names in this prayer because it'd be taking it in vain. So let's say, and this kind of falls in line with the Masaru Emoto, I want to say his name was, the doctor who took water, and they would like say things to it or have a motion towards it and freeze it, and the way the frozen crystals would form, depending whether it was gratitude or love or whatever it was, would change on the vibration, and even anger and hatred, make them misshapen. Or they would just leave water in a beaker, and one they would praise and one they would yell at and scream and say hateful things to, and with the way the bacteria would grow much faster in the one they were like hating on. So both those concepts kind of apply to this, in that so when you take, let's say, a glass of water, it's a good example, that the blessing for that is shehekol. So you would say, Baruch atah Adoshem Elokeinu melech haolam shehekol nehiyeh bidvaro. So when you're speaking these sounds, this vibrational sound into this glass at a quantum level, it's believed it aligns the molecules in this cup in a certain way. So the water now is aligned. The molecules, subatomic particles, even in this cup of water, are aligned to a specific frequency, like a specific vibration, right? And so it's kind of Cymatics. It's also kind of what Emoto did, same Dr. Emoto, of the being able to shift on a subatomic level the particles and their alignment according to this blessing that you're speaking in Hebrew. And so that's really the purpose of any time with food, not only acknowledging the Creator that gave us all good things and all food, but actually changing the quantum, the molecules, subatomic molecules on a quantum level to empower it, really to help us do more mitzvot. It's supposed to be like a mitzvah to help increase our ability to do more mitzvot, to do more good deeds, right? A mitzvah is like a good deed, mostly aligned with the 613 laws of the Torah. And so I've always found this a very fascinating concept, and science only now, I've always said that most spirituality is just quantum physics, and we just haven't understood it. We take these stories literally as opposed to, and they may be at a quantum level, they may be literal, but they're really, analogies to help explain quantum physics to us in story form, the simplest form possible. They're like literal metaphors. To some degree they are kind of literal, but in other ways, especially in the physical realm, they're mostly just stories to help us understand concepts, bigger, deeper concepts. So that's one of the big things with blessings in Judaism, that we're aligning the molecules, whether we're elevating the sparks, finding the hidden sparks to elevate, whether we're thanking the Creator for the creation and acknowledging that's the giver of all things, or actually changing the molecules to make it proper to help us continue to do the deeds required of us or called upon us by the Creator, right? The required, but we're asked to do these things and we accept the challenge. I've always found that very fascinating. So I don't know how much this is going to help, but I wish everyone in their lives the blessing to have words, to feel the way words affect not only us, but those around us. So anytime we praise our children or our loved ones, how much it can affect them. I've had great success at work just building everybody up. So I've mentioned in other videos, like whenever I work normal 9-to-5 jobs, I get moved up to management pretty quick for whatever reason, and not always willingly. I feel like I'm kind of forced into it sometimes, but the success that I have in working as a team leader, is always in building everybody up. I always acknowledge how hard the job is and try to build everyone up and try to make it fun and entertaining. And those little words can make such a big difference in motivation, especially for your coworkers. And so I wish everyone the blessing of not only in their lives, but in giving to other people's lives these positive words that will realign at a quantum level people's own being, their own soul, making them feel good about themselves. And my grandpa used to always say that, feel good about yourself. So it was adorable in like a Lithuanian accent. It was my step-grandpa, but he would feel good about yourself. He would come into the room, tell everybody, feel good about yourself. And it was really adorable. I still laugh about it all the time. And but good words, compliments, how much it affects people. If we can affect a glass of water by saying Baruch atah Hashem, imagine how much we affect a person, a whole universe, by telling them a good word, a kind word, letting them know where they're doing well. And it really does light people up and make them feel good. And I hope you not only give those to others, but to receive that in your life, to people to help build you up and to make you feel good and to align the atoms in your body at a quantum level with happiness and joy and goodness. I really wish that. If you have any stories of that kind of stuff, of being able to change things or even change a whole room, a vibe, a work experience with good words, I would love to hear about it. Any questions, comments, of course, please. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to talk about this stuff. And as always, people, let's do this. Save the humans.
Trying to be a better man. Oh yeah. Trying to do the best I can. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna do right thing. Do right thing. No matter what they want to say. And I'm gonna still fight for you. Still fight for you.